Hello YouTube, welcome over to Gaming House, and for this video, I know it's been a while since I've done something besides just Let's Play videos, but I'm going to share with you my impressions of the Battlefield 1 beta that I played pretty much throughout the weekend on and off between work. Me and my friends, we played on the Xbox One version. I know I have a PC, but I chose not to download it and try it on PC just because I don't think mine would be able to handle it as well as others. But anyway, jumping right into it, hopefully this will be a quick video, but we all know how sometimes I like to ramble on about things. Let's start off with the good things I liked, which were the game looks amazing. The party system seems to function pretty well. It's pretty easy to get in and out of. The controls, all that standard stuff, it's all there, it all feels comfortable. I liked that there was literally like an animation for almost everything in the game. Besides, there used to just be melee takedowns. Now there's an animation to get into vehicles, which is nice. Say, I've been in multiple instances in the previous Battlefields where if you're chasing someone down, you got a lot of rounds into them, and they happen to be near a vehicle, they're just going to warp into the vehicle, and now it's like, well, I can't take on a tank with an assault rifle, so fuck me. But there's animations for that, and those look great. There's no greater feeling than... Oh, well, I shouldn't say. It was fun for me, at least, for like loading the artillery cannons, or whatever you want to call them, anti-tanks, whatever. Those were fun to fucking shoot, reload, and just keep constantly firing. The animations, everything just looked fantastic. The destruction of the game. The destruction of this game is finally brought back. If you've played the Bad Companies, or you jumped into the Bad Companies, like I started being hard Battlefield when the Bad Companies, of course, came out. And the destruction of that game was unparalleled compared to the other ones that have come out, where it just seems to be constantly scaled back more and more with each one. But now it's been finally brought back. You can create craters from massive explosions. Most of the buildings can be destroyed. I don't think they could be 100% destroyed. We chose to take a tank and absolutely lay into several buildings on Objective C in the Sinai Desert map. And it seemed like there were still portions of walls we couldn't destroy. So it looks like buildings will be mostly destructible. But that's just on our part. They could, for all we know, be able to be taken completely down. We just didn't commit to it. Another thing I enjoyed, which is more of a personal thing, is the minimap. That has been... Because this is olden era, where fucking suppressors did not exist, unless, they hid those away in the weapons that aren't in the beta, which I would be fucking pissed off about, is that when you shoot your loud guns now, you no longer appear on the stupid-ass minimap. So now, people actually have to find you instead of, relying on the fact that I'm shooting loud weapons and I appear on a minimap so people just home in on me. That's something I enjoy. That's just a personal thing. I've griped about it in all the modern FPSs nowadays, that they have these stupid radars that just pop up people that aren't using suppressors, so that the only incentive to use the suppressors, you don't appear on the damn minimap. I hate it. I really, really like the vehicles and how all of them function differently, and how pretty much almost all of them are multi-seats, so you can fit almost all squad in some of these tanks and start rolling up and wrecking stuff. And it really definitely shines the Battlefield's whole cooperative thing, because one person in a tank, there is a one-seater tank. One person in, say, a heavy tank or the land ship, they're not going to just wreck everyone, because they have a lot of blind spots. A lot. If you're playing in first-person view, obviously third-person can help alleviate some of that, but you still have blind spots on the rear. But if one person of those cannot simply wreck a bunch of people, as someone could in, say, Battlefield 3 and 4, if someone got in a tank, they could possibly run a train on everyone, where in this one they cannot. If you pile a whole squad of tanks, then it's a force to be reckoned with. I think that'll do it for some good, because I jump around a lot. I'm very informal about these things. Well, let's get into some of the bad stuff. And some of the bad stuff is obviously some glaring issues. First of which will hopefully just be resolved. These might all get resolved by the time that the game comes out, hopefully. And also some of the things I might say, they might get changed later in the beta. This is currently September 5th that I'm recording this. If it goes up today or goes up to the 6th, I'm not sure. But at this point in time, this is my impressions up until this point. So if they change something in the beta and etc., well, you can ignore part of what I'm saying currently then. And of course, some of the issues were the menu. I don't know why the menu seems laggy and or locking up. Same pausing in the game. That'll take forever, and I don't know why. Sometimes the right trigger function to pop up your party screen and friend screen in the game, that will also sometimes just not be able to function in the main menu until you go into a game, out of game, or restart the whole fucking game up. That's obviously annoying. It was a bunch of issues regarding that. I don't know why they were having issues with that. That makes no sense to me, and how that's like the issue of the game. Like gameplay wise, everything is fucking fine as far as I can tell, besides a few little hiccups such as trying to climb over something. Sometimes your character will not complete that animation or something, or they get caught up on like the second layer, so you don't actually vault over some of the rocks in the game that are like shin high that you have to like vault over, and they just it's dumb. But anyway, there was a lot of like screen issues. I don't know why. I don't know why. Main menu issues. That's what I'm talking about. A lot of those issues, and I don't know why. Slight server issues, but that is not including like the day one where they were obviously DDoSed, and they also chose to push updates for their games and everything, and pretty much had a high traffic on their fucking servers, which was all just a terrible move on their part. Other issues which are more apparent in the gameplay is bullet drop. Bullet drop seems to be very minimal. It is more noticeable on cannon type weapons such as, tank cannons, your anti-tank rifle for assault class. That drop is more noticeable than dropping bullets, which I don't know why that's been like bumped. I don't know if it's for the sake of the beta or something, but hopefully when the full game comes out, bullet drop is actually more prevalent. Because currently the only thing, like, say, snipers have to do currently is kind of adjust for travel time, and that's about it. And my friends and I we're slightly biased about this. We don't like sniper classes. We think they're a bunch of Nancies that don't like to play the objectives and do nothing but simply irritate the fuck out of everyone. But that's our opinion. We just been gaming a long time that anyone that we see with a sniper rifle, we're just we hate you. Even though sometimes we'll sit there and dick around like we give up and just go into sniping, but this one has an issue with the fact that you can literally be across the map with these old-ass World War I weapons and be shooting literally across the map with very little bullet drop occurring, and that needs to clearly be adjusted so that people actually have to adjust aim and everything. Like, yeah, if there's no ticks on your sniper rifle, well, it sucks to suck. That's how it was in World War I, so eat a dick. Snipers. Don't like you. And speaking of weapons, we'll go ahead and jump slightly into that. Obviously, for the sake of gameplay, they took the liberty of using all weapons that were within experimental to like being slightly used towards the end of the war. In other words, where they started issuing some out, but like you can guarantee like bullshit statistic less than like possibly like 5 to fucking 1% of the troops actually had these in their hands. Obviously, if you're a person that's gonna irk you a lot, you might not want to play this then, because like two classes obviously are walking around with automatic weapons, and the medic class has a decent amount of semi-auto rifles available. If you can look past that though, you'll be fine. But I'll just mention it that like, yeah, of course that's all in this game. So if you're a person that's gonna get irked by historical inaccuracy at the time due to them taking liberties in the gameplay instead of using the World War II setting, which would have had more automatics instead of World War I don't know, but rambling. It'll irk some people. It'll not irk some people. You can look past it though if you so choose to. And before we get into the final segment of the video, we'll go ahead and talk about the game mode of Rush. As I mentioned before, we jumped in at most of us jumped in at Bad Company to start being like constant Battlefield players, which means Rush was the primary focus of the Bad Company titles. That was one of the like new game mode selling points, etc. And I really enjoyed Rush mode. It's become less and less like focused on / balanced in the recurring titles. And Battlefield 3 was probably the last good one they had. Rush, Hardline, bleh. In fact, Hardline didn't even have it. Fuck if I remember. But Battlefield 4, like they did not cater to that mode whatsoever. It was shit. And this one, I feel like they did some good steps and bad steps. Of course, if you don't care about Rush, you could probably skip a minute or two ahead of this. But they included time limit on top of the limited lives. That's something I don't like. It puts unnecessary pressure on the attackers who already have limited amount of lives on top of now a time limit, which I find to be bullshit. Good things that they added to it is now like attackers do have to get out of the new defender spawn point or they'll be like killed. It like becomes slightly out of bounds. I'm not sure. I don't remember if that was temporary or not. We didn't play enough of Rush to consider it. We all just kept playing Conquest after like a couple Rush games. But I like that. That gets the attackers out of the fucking defender spawn so they can't steal vehicles. No vehicles spawn in now. I didn't mention that. There's a few vehicles that spawn in. That's usually ones that objectives or so. But like your main things like tanks, airplanes, etc., those aren't actually spawned in, so people can't fucking steal them out of the goddamn spawn points anymore. Good on you, DICE. You've really been listening to players. They're good developers. It just sucks that they're like with EA, which has like screwed them over a few times. Alright, so I was going to end the video here, but I realized I had like take out a whole nother minute of my rambling of my trying to remember my outro and everything, but I wanted to get into a couple more points, and this is in general about betas, and also, of course, the Battlefield 1 beta, and that's they need to start treating betas more like betas instead of demos. I'd say this one acted more like a beta compared to recent betas in the past. Besides Titanfall beta, that definitely felt like a beta with how crappy that was. But, you know, the game comes out in a fucking month or two. But you need to give us, first off, more to test off and more shit to do in betas. This isn't talking about just trying to have more fun in a beta. This is like, we're supposed to be testing shit. We're supposed to be testing shit to give feedback to you. And you, in fact, in particular, I'll use the Battlefield beta in particular for this example. And that's, hey, you have a bunch of weapons that you've already like clearly like stated this is available in the full game. We should be able to unlock those weapons so that we can test them in case there's a god gun hidden amongst them that needs to be found out and dealt with now instead of at release of the game. Another is you should have given us a couple more maps. Am I saying I should have had the whole map rotation test out? No, I'm pretty sure the other maps are fine. But what I'm particularly talking about is we should have gotten a naval map to test out the ships and everything else to see how those function, if it's balanced or not. At least a naval map would have been great to experiment with. Because again, this is a beta. We're supposed to be testing shit. Alright? It shouldn't just be beta/demo to test your servers. We should be testing your gameplay and everything else to make sure stuff functions. And the final point, because I realized I deleted it when I went to go back and redo that commentary and then this commentary, is the thing that's probably the clickbait of this title, which is total douchebag move, and that's, will Battlefield finally be a contender with Call of Duty? And if you've been around for a while in the gaming area, follow it a little bit, you'll know that it's always been like an internet fight thing / anyone that doesn't care about it. But it's always been a comparison between Call of Duty and Battlefield about who's top dog, even though Call of Duty has, on record, always been at the top of the sales and etc. and has beat out Battlefield, but Battlefield's always been a strong, like, only contender to Call of Duty. And I don't think this go-around, despite Call of Duty still being futuristic shit, which a lot of people have been vocal about, that stop doing this fucking jumping around, scooting around, becoming a fucking robot dog, apparently. That was just fucking weird in their fucking trailer. Despite Call of Duty still doing its future shit, it's still going to sell due to the Call of Duty name. And with Battlefield 1, with all of its actual catering to boots on the ground, quote unquote, there, because there's not a lot of homing shit, a lot of cutbacks on the function of previous items and etc. that were in the other Battlefields. Everything's more boots on the ground and more simplistic. I think Battlefield will catch up to Call of Duty in some way or form. I think they might still be short. I don't think they're going to overtake Call of Duty, but they're definitely going to catch up to Call of Duty this go around, and it's definitely probably going to make Activision think like, hey, maybe we should actually scale back this future bullshit that we can't fully commit to / is kind of like meh. You know, we'll give Infinite Warfare the benefit of the doubt. Actually, at least they are committing to full future instead of the half-ass future shit that we've seen lately. But maybe we should go back to simplified Modern Warfare. Maybe we should go back to World War II that people have been asking for. Or, you know, Vietnam. I still don't know why people have not done a Vietnam game. I feel like that's a very untapped resource that players would like to play in the setting of. But I don't know. I'm just speaking as a consumer, and I don't know, someone has some sense in their head. But anyway, that'll do it for this video. Check out the channel. There's a bunch of Dead by Daylight videos for mostly a bunch of Let's Plays going on currently. But of course, in the future, I plan to play Battlefield 1. That's already pre-ordered. Gears is pre-ordered. Shh, don't talk about pre-orders. Anyone that's big in gaming doesn't like to talk about pre-orders. But half of us will end up doing it probably anyway. So, those you can look forward to on my channel. Some other games are on my radar, but I haven't bothered buying yet. Dragon Ball, some other things. South Park is in the works. But if you want to see gameplay of those videos on the channel, go ahead, maybe subscribe, leave a like on the video, leave some feedback, etc. Again, check out the channel. And as always, you're welcome to come back over to Gaming House. More gameplay and commentary.